Well, a warm welcome to everybody out there. My name is Vaibhavv, and this is Aura at 8. We have a very special guest, like always, who would be coming in and will be talking about the most hottest topic right now. And the most hottest topic right now in the entire world is not perhaps the war, is not, if Bitcoin is going up or down, but it's all about just one thing: AI. Now, this friend of mine has, I'm just going to have him here. So, I will say this once he's here, but I need to get everybody's attention onto the cool things that is happening around. Okay, he doesn't have my attention, so I'm just going to call him and get his attention. So, yeah, the idea. Okay, by the way, I really messed up with my mustache today. So, here it is. And let me try and get his attention. Okay, I got his attention, I think. Let me see if he's here. Okay, here he is.
Yeah,
Welcome, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I can't hear you, man.
Uh, one, two, three.
Let me check. Let me check. Let me check.
I
Give me a
can hear
second. Give
you,
me a second.
like,
Give me
but
a second.
I can hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and you?
Okay, okay, okay. I think I know the problem. I know the problem. Okay, I think you should be able to hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried
Okay, you
to.
look very sporty.
Sorry.
You looks very sporty, very strong. What's happened?
Let me see if I try to connect another mic, but let me see if I can connect this one.
Oh,
No, I cannot. Fine. We will work on this a little later, but let's find out how are you doing and how have you been?
well, before gonna start, I'd like to use this chance to say how I'm proud of my beautiful wife. She taking a support of the baby, and she's a gorgeous young woman, taking her hospitality of the young baby until while I'm doing this wonderful stream with you. So I like putting my first responsibility to highlight that I'm a great husband, and thank you so much for everyone. And big applause to all husbands around the globe who appreciate their wives, especially you. Actually, I know that you appreciate your wife very much, a lot. We have so much wonderful stories about this, but we're gonna not tell them on public.
You know, Alex is so smart that before we drive on to work, he's gone and taken off his most important responsibility. So his wife will not be giving him dirty stares if we kind of, prolong this because he's already gone ahead and given his wife all the good wishes and compliments that she truly deserves. And congratulations again, on this amazing kid that you have, and may you have many more kids like myself.
You are the champion, man. Like, and I know your story. Like, and you are the champion. I have a lot of the things to do. It's my second attempt, but anyway.
I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
I was saying to our audience before you could come in, that I met Alex in Hong Kong, and from the time we met, I think from the time we had conversations, he was just getting married at that point of time, and
Right.
since then we have always had a chat whenever we need anything. We are always there. And by the way, for a lot of people who don't know this, that I'm his guardian in India. So if anything happens wrong with him in India, I am responsible.
That's true. I mean, that's literally true. Legally, formally, guys. So I have
Yeah,
to be a very good habit there. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And you know what? Unfortunately, I realized that I kind of really messed up in India by not being able to spend time with you because I was all over the place because I was hosting India Blockchain Week and so many things going on that week. Didn't even get an opportunity to have a meal in India, and how embarrassing this is for me.
Shame on you, man. So you showed me the Hong Kong, but you couldn't show me the India. That's wild.
And more than India, Bangalore. That is my city, the city
Yeah,
that I've spent all my adult life in, and I couldn't show you anywhere. It just shows that when we are going to events or when we are going to like when it's work oriented, we don't even get time for friends, and people think that Web3 is all about parties and
yeah.
Web3 is all about just having fun. Uh, I just realized how embarrassing this
But
is. So my
you,
apologies.
it's okay. But like you still hold the evidence that I am a good drum player because nobody believed me.
I should have the videos in my Google Drive that Alex is indeed a phenomenal drummer. What a
you,
you know
you
what?
should share this again with me, yeah, because I will use that as evidence for everyone. Like because nobody believed me again.
I know we should do that. And also, I just realized what an epic place we went to party. Because in Hong Kong, in Central, if anybody's in Hong Kong, I know it's too late in Hong Kong, but if anybody's listening from Hong Kong, those by lanes in Central, we randomly went to a lane, and in the starting of the lane, there was a huge garbage dump. And me and my friend, we are looking at each other, and I'm saying, I don't think this is the right place to go. I don't think there is something happening. But
Yeah,
luckily, I had a friend of mine who said, yeah, yeah, come in there. And he came and opened the door. So it was basically a house where this party was happening.
yeah,
But it's not a house. It looks like a house. The party was happening, and the atmosphere over there was electric. Remember?
yeah. It was amazing. Like it was like I think young US like bootlegger parties like in the early 20s. Like I mean, really true music without no electronic, like real music, real jazz stuff, and people enjoyed the things. I think it was really cool.
Yeah, and the couple who was running the place, I should message them. I do have the number somewhere. This couple was so kind. It was either you, me, or somebody else who wanted a beer. And of course, we are the guys who never carry cash. Everything is either on a neo banking or on a card. They were so kind. I think they gave you or the other friend of ours who was together free beers because we
Yeah.
didn't have fiat to pay them.
We owe so much, man.
Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. With all of this that we have done and to all of, the places that we have been to for events in Dubai, India, Hong Kong, let me ask you that, since we have the AI angle here, AI agents versus the big data, I need to ask you first that what were you doing in Singularity? Unfortunately, the name Singularity right now is no longer as relevant as perhaps Claude or perhaps ChatGPT to the retail audience. But I would love to know what was Singularity doing and what was your role there?
So I think, I mean, it's still relevant for AGI. If the audience will type AGI, artificial general intelligence, in Wikipedia, the original story goes from the Ben Gorsel, who is the founder of the SingularityNET. He still hold the monopoly of Wikipedia traffic on AGI definition itself. But it's a first of all, I think the biggest R&D team, like which is not a part of the big tech. That's what Singularity is all about. And several years ago, I was running the strategy and strategic initiatives at SingularityNET. We signed a lot of the partnerships. So I stepped down a year ago, and Mario Kazaragi, who is the founder of Singularity Venture Hub, which is a gate around whole ecosystem, which we built a huge ecosystem. So like I just recap for the whole audience. If you type a token called FET, that's a token of the single consortium, which is now called Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. And we built this literally. So we made a merge of the tokenomics of, I think, 4 companies together, and we built the biggest AI in crypto. So it was the biggest AI in crypto. So I think top 15, top 20 coin market cap. and I was running the whole strategic initiative there. So we made a brilliant team of value engineers. This is something in between of the project management and product management. So the guys been working hard in the different time zones, and they've been literally orchestrating the value by different states, like from the different relationships, and that's why we've been able to sign up a lot of the wonderful partnerships with like Binance, with Filecoin, My Network, Defini, like a lot of the great partnerships been there. Um, and I think, I mean, still, besides those partnerships, we tried to achieve something which was a very genuine, like, and for that people, like you said, the audience can differentiate SingularityNET from the others AI company. And we came up with idea called a knowledge layer. If you will ever Google that, like I think that's the thing which will be the next stop for everyone, because like you need your own memory to keep alive somewhere, like in the company, whether you are a company or inside, like if you are a personal user, you need your own memory tools that you will plug there, plug out the, here you go, I shared the link. You'll plug out the different LLMs, different AI agents, and that's how it works. So we designed this idea of knowledge layer as R&D and started to building the partnerships around that. I don't know like whether it will like be popular, but from the perspective of the corporates, we signed some very great partnerships, like with Alma Axion Logement. That's a large company which is now running as it's innovating in the field of the home compute, where you taking the home ecosystem, integrating their a specific size of the data centers, and you converting a cost center into the profit center itself by allowing people and living ecosystems around the homes to become a distributed data centers. But the knowledge layer, it's actually, I believe it's a next frontier for the learning curve for the AGI. Like, I mean, it's very like mandatory element for the, if you like will be building AI landscape in corporates or in business. I like, but
Wait.
ask the
Let us
question.
let us break this down. Okay. But first thing, can I forgot to tell you, you can also stream this to your audience. So you can
Oh,
you can share it on your LinkedIn also.
okay,
Um, and then we'll start diving in deep on these aspects. You might have to
okay.
sign in. It is okay. It'll bring you back in.
No, no, it's fine. I thought. So
It it says stream to your destination. So you can select the destination that you want to stream it on. You can only stream it on two.
okay. So let me just check. Uh, Share the screen. Uh, okay.
No.
So
Not the screen, the stream.
the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no
I
idea how
think
to share the
it should
stream.
be up there somewhere.
Oh yes, yeah, I see that. Stream,
Yeah.
sign up. Sign up. I
Yeah.
need sign up for free.
It
Yeah.
is just a click. Don't worry. I think this conversation is going to be very interesting, and maybe all our friends should also watch this.
Oh, let me just sign up. I will add my LinkedIn because I didn't do that.
Okay, fine.
Fine, I
Uh,
think so.
if you want to stream, we can wait for a minute.
Yeah, a minute. I think. Okay. StreamYard.
We have lost him, but he's going to be back in a while, so don't worry. We're going to ask him a lot of interesting questions. And then we'll keep bringing. Okay, yeah, he's back. Yep, you're back, my friend. Now you can
Yeah.
connect it. Now just a click. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
While you're doing this, can you please explain in simple words what is AGI?
AGI. Oh, that's the good stuff. But can you hear me now, right?
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you and I can see you. Yeah.
So that's a good stuff. Like, I think AGI is the you should consider AI as a species. So I try to broadcast. I don't know whether people in LinkedIn will be able to see that. Yeah, but I
It
can't
is
hear you
it is connected.
now. Okay, good. I hope people enjoying that stuff. Like, anyway, so AGI is a species, like literally. So like as any species, it's not a mammal, but it's something else, which is like has which we're trying to actually reconsider as the from the biology perspective. Like we have a long-term memory, we have a short-term memory, and all this type of architecture of our brain. That's the only way we can now recognize and distinct as a species. Like, but itself, the AGI, it's the framework. Also, it's the framework which is allowing it's not very, like I would say, structured, because there are different ways to build the AGI itself, like which is Ben like explaining, the other guys on the market explaining different frameworks. So there are many multiple frameworks, but in general the AGI, I think it's the way we distinct the AI, which is like not self-aware and self-conscious, and like self-understanding that it's real, and the thing which is like understanding its self-existence. That's I believe the AGI. So once it will be able to understand that it's alive, I mean literally, then we can see it's happened, like it's alive. That's the AGI. Like, you cannot give a definition to Frankenstein, right? It's but which
No,
is will be very accurate.
so wait. Now, just to break this down, you said that AI is like a species, right? So
Yeah.
you can say like to simply break this down, if you have mammals, you have underwater animals, sorry, underwater mammals, and then you have humans and different species. So
Yeah.
you're saying Chat GPT is a different species,
No.
Grok is a different species, or they all are a part of the same species?
No, they're far away at the moment from the understanding of this definition. I mean, completely far away. So Grok, ChatGPT, like who else you mentioned, Gemini, etc. They are Claude. They are not species. They are now the frameworks, which is like a complex environment, which is like connecting different type of communication protocol, like ontology things, training data, etc. But it's now is not yet there. Like, what I'm telling is like it's something that goes beyond this level of the, maybe it's even beyond this level of architecture of transformer. So like existing level of architecture transformer, it's a bit outdated at the moment, I think. I mean, simply if you consider that transformer, it's not, for example, it's not considering ethical background. So if you check my profile, so a couple of years ago with some scientists, with great scientists like Julia Mosbridge, she, by the way, made a really nice flourishing startups around love. We made a discussion paper with Sharon Goral, Julia Mosbridge, Robert Moyer. That's all really brilliant scientists in their fields. Like Sharon Goral, his anthropology, Julia and Robert about computer science and uh, philosophy. So we in physics. So we consider this discussion paper as the spiritual fusion machine, where we try to explain how. I mean, literally from the math perspective, we can put together the flourishing like a loyalty and the human beings as a value for the something artificial. That's on my LinkedIn page. Everyone can go there and read. This is a blog post made by the Sharon Goral. We all contribute, so you can find there literally the formulas. You can find there the literally IT landscape, like data pools, how they work together, how invariance works, etc. So we develop. Long story short, we developed the idea where I proposed the concentrate around invariance, which is like DeFi pools. Like I was seeing DeFi pools, and I was asking myself, hey, can we get any similar constraint for AI that works literally as a constraint, like beyond which it cannot like expand as a universe, like it just reach out this constraint and say, hey, this is too much for me. And this constraint was for us a multidimensional space where we balanced a loyalty, which is like specific conditions of the AI stuff. It's in the beginning it's loyal to the human and because of the policymakers, and then it's break up the loyalty. So we identified the condition where AI can break up the loyalty, and what's the excuse will be there.
So
And
now,
that's really interesting. Yeah, the only excuse to break up the loyalty is love, by the way.
that's interesting. We will dig deep into that. But first thing, tell me that since you have a kid who's very young, I have kids who are young. Are you scared of AI that it might take over their future?
Well, I grew up seeing as a Ghost in the Shell, other wonderful anime, so like I'm pretty aware of the multiple type of scenarios that could come up. So I don't have any like a blurb like about more positive expectations. So I'm pretty okay with what it's going there, and so I believe in the end of the day that that the system is self-balancing. Like something will happen that will protect from the collapse. I cannot
In,
explain that, but in all my life, like what I see, always something is like interfere. I, it's not very like I'd say responsible to say that, but something happening always from the system perspective. If you're trying, if there is a breach of the like failure, but it goes usually through the cycle and then it goes back. Like that's why I think even if there will be some point where or state where AI will get the control over everything, I believe at that point of time something will be balancing back, and either there will be several species of AI that will be like fighting for the ground and giving saving a space for the humanity, because like there are multiple developments, right? So I don't think that there would be a single AI. There will be AI of AIs, and they will be like spreading wild, and I think even there will be zones where there will be no AI, like and no digital like digital free zones. Like I think so. There will be like for sure, like
Possible,
even
possible,
countries. I think.
quite possible. Uh, you know, I think most of us have our very limited understanding of AI. We claim to use AI on a day-to-day basis now, but then our understanding of AI is very limited. We think OpenClaw, ChatGPT, Animoca Minds, that just these are AIs, right? But then the
Yeah.
AI that you're talking about is above this and beyond this in more ways than one. So for us, for the audience, can you break this down and tell me that what is the difference between the AI that we use and the AI that you're talking about? Like, can you make it can you simplify this for us?
Well, so first of all, I see that it's so what we talk about like now, it's if you compare the house, right? A house, a whole house. So when people say AI now, it's like a door or it's a window, which is like part of the house. But when I saying AI is a future state, that's I'm considering the house. The same story happened with big data. Like, in the beginning, big data, there was one meaning. Afterwards, it became like a group of the things which is involved hardware, software type solutions, and blah blah blah. But the beginning, it was like very specific thing. That's why I think from the perspective of the like next year, for example, there will be things which we can call differently, not AI. I mean, it's pretty fine for this. I don't know like what will be the naming for this, but there will be some different things, which is like give you example like a knowledge layer, right? So uh, that's just a little element component of the memory. I don't know how people are going to call this memory things, but it will work as the same story as flash drives you use for your devices now. You're buying this memory for different iPhone configuration, and the same story, people will be buying a similar memory things for like AI native in landscape environment. Another point is a so like called baby AGI. So baby AGI, it's a pre-AGI, as it could be like heard, like which is a much more younger stage, which is like which can be brought by the I think not by single like group of people, like, but it can be brought multiple times if you have enough inference. And we see that the rally on inference is actually going through madness, and believe at some point of time there will be some energy crunch, but that eventually allow companies to create their own large language models, like for example to remove weights for the large language model. They can produce their own version of the reality, and that's why I see that this baby AGI framework will could see difference. So what I mean by baby AGI framework, so I can give you my own understanding, okay? So like once I saying baby AGI for the company, like because I see that the companies now, I joined recently the board of the company, of a public listed company. It's a large one. It's producing a seafood in the CIS region, and I'm responsible for the AI landscape there. So I'm working closely with the chairman, and we recently made the AI committee there. But I see that for this company, other companies, and a lot of the players on the market, they're discussing the idea of the internal brain, which is like very simple, like very close to the baby AGI. So, and we had a discussion how it can look like in terms of the like if I structure this baby AGI stuff in terms of the elements, components. I mean, which is like from the perspective of the business language and all the gaps of communication, how they can be easily uh, communicated and identified. So the first element was, as I said, memory. Okay, it's fine. And the other elements, we came up from biology, which is like first, to allow AGI or baby AGI to interfere with reality, which means like video, voice recognition, all this kind of stuff. It's a specific solutions that is not now is a part of the AI, but it's like elements, components, like internet AI, sticking together and allowing to move your data, your voice, images, like to work with this. The next stop is manipulate with real world. So we're saying, okay, baby AGI would like not only see the world and understand, but also to manipulate and interfere with the things like a real baby. and that means like robotic arms, etc. But this also opened the question: what is the protocol of data transmitting? So it's IoT stuff, LoRaWAN things, etc., etc. And then we got the next step, which is a simulation. So once we got this protocol IoT devices, we opened an enabling discussion about we can now simulate, because AGI can simulate without interference with the real world what it's going to be look like if it will like manipulate with a particular object from the real world. So that's where discussion now goes. And then once it's done, it also can connect to the whole environment, and whole environment can now work as autonomous ecosystem. That's what I can call baby AGI elements. So there are like 5 of them. And I mean, circling back and trying to answer your question, which is a very long answer, I think, and I appreciate for the hearing me. I see that there will be the gap, like for understanding, and I see that the simplification of the agenda will be a really, really important element. Once people will simplify the things, like as I did now, they will be able to bring forward all their like traditional instruments they use for the managing of the business agenda. For example, like people are using 3 line of defense. It's a conventional risk approach, like 3 line of defense, like first line, second, third line. Like first line is help desk, like second is auditing, and third one is like etc. So there are three line of defense. Once people are simplifying the understanding of definition of like this advanced AI frameworks, they can bring back the conventional instruments they use for governance. I mean, I don't think there are going to be new instruments for the governance. I think the people, because like there is a huge inertia. I mean, the people bring the very conventional instrument, how they like control the companies, how they do the governance, all this they will try to apply for AGI for sure. I mean, will they be success or not? That's another question. Yeah.
That's a fair point. But then, the way the world is moving ahead, can you give me some use case of AGI that common people can understand? By which I mean, like we see Claude now, with their connectors, they can send emails for us. They can actually go and, take a trade for us. What can AGI do for us? How will it make our life better or
Well,
convenient?
that's a good question. So if you said those elements like send the letter, do the research, and this kind of things, and what does AGI do? So AGI is not something which is like participate in the pipeline between human and task. Okay, so I mean, for sure, I think, for sake of clarity, I think people will not be able to bring tasks for AGI on the regular basis, like send the letter, man. It should be most brilliant letter in whole my life. So I think if ever AGI will, but it will maybe interfere with the human um, by initiating a specific uh, pipelines. So I think AGI will be creating pipelines, not the. But this is all depends on the way we're going to choose the scenario of the evolution. But even if we're not choosing, but so I think by the end of the day, um, there will be no pipeline with the tasks. If the AGI will be in the loop, I mean, just try to compare. Um, there was a funny movie recently made. This is which is a Zoolandia, or like this is where the rabbit and the fox they are trying to investigate together. What's the name of this was?
I think it is Zula, and my kids were asking me about it, but let me check again.
Yeah. So you remember there was a character which was drawing very fast, and he was very slow. He saved the rabbit and the second in the second movie he was saving her or fox. He need to
No,
bring back.
I haven't watched the movie, but so I wouldn't know the characters.
So okay, there is a funny character there, which is like moving really slow, like. But once he's getting in the car, he's driving very very fast, but remaining very slow mover. Like, so comparing human to AGI, it will be like that. Like human will be like very slow mover,
So,
and
for
AGI.
example, you said there will be, pipelines. For example, if I want to eat a meal, I would go to the grocery store. I would pick up my, sorry, I would first go ahead and check the recipe either on the internet or either in my head, and then go to the grocery store,
Yeah.
maybe visit a couple of grocery stores to see where I can buy meat, where I can buy green leaves, where do I get discount. I go there and then I drive back home, and then I prepare everything one by one. Now you're saying AGI will immediately serve me the dish that I want to eat. Is this what I understand by it?
Yeah. So that's the whole point. So it's because human is exists in the reality where which is like three-dimensional space time, and but AGI will definitely coexist in the space of the multidimensional physics, which is like allow it to interact at the different level of the speed, like, you know. That's why I'm saying, like, when you asking me how it will be interact with between human and AGI, I think it will be no interaction. So you will come up to the say grocery store, it will be there already waiting for you. You know, that's what I'm trying to tell you, because AGI will produce a so huge demand. That's why it will break up the whole law of economy. I mean, just economy itself will not be representative anymore. Like that's, I mean, because supply side will be enormous and demand side will be enormous. So it will be eternity, like on the both sides,
And
limitless.
and what's the timeline for this that you anticipate?
That's a good question. Like, I once I'm trying to do forecasts, I always trying to remember a very good situation. Do you remember AlphaGo? AlphaGo. So in the past there was a like a very difficult task for AI to prove that it's really like can work with complex environment to play against the top player of Go, which is a Go game. On Chinese, it will be Weizi, and it's a Japan name Go game. And it was like, I think 10 years ago, roughly, like 2015, I think. And I remember that time where scientists like AlphaGo been released by DeepMind, I think. So I remember scientists that time they were like spending efforts on the forecasting and say, hey, like I think there are like 7 years ahead, like it will be able to solve this difficult riddle to play against the top player of Go, because there are enormous level of the multidimensional space of combinations on the play yard. And you know what happened? Once they set that forecast, it was December 2015. AlphaGo appeared in 2016. I remember, um, 7 months later. So, the gap between when people saying 7 years and 7 months, it's appeared. That's why I see like, okay, like if I'll tell you 7 years now, it literally for me it means like, hey, we probably will see something appearing next like couple of years for sure. Some attempts, I would say.
The truth, the way we are working, and in fact, while listening to you, I realized that we should do this session once a week, online or offline. For me, I think we should do it online so all of us can get to learn and dig deep onto this. But then, uh, you know, the robot that you all built, Sophia. to the robots that we see now by Unitree and by Tesla, the humanoids now we see. It's
Yeah,
mind blowing the kind of stuff that it can do. Like, there was another robot that I'm forgetting the name. It is worth $20,000 that can actually do all your basic household work,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that is unbelievable.
yeah.
I want to first find out, are they using any are they using any base layer of your technology, or they have developed something on their own?
No,
Uh,
no, no.
if
It's yeah. So now people are fighting. I mean, companies fighting for their own IP, and SingularityNET been working on open source. I mean, it's largest open source R&D consortium. That's why. I mean, there is a huge gap between the approach. I mean, once you designing the IP, I mean, that's the question about commercialization, and that's why like they do these frameworks, brain frameworks. This is a very aligned with the market cap. Singularity itself been designing the open source frameworks, allowing to run transparent solutions. But we have corporate agenda there for sure, which we are working now with Singularity Venture Hub, where the IP now put under the table, and we're trying to create the bridge between institutional players because we see that there is a demand from the institutional players for that story. But answering your question, no, there is no actually that those robots are using now for because they trying to use their own frameworks, and that's I believe the question of how competition goes on the market. Like it's um you know so if you're developing the like large language models like Qwen, right? It's or like DeepSeek, the robot can use that, right? But in the end of the day, if you want to like to do the industry focus model and then charge your audience for the industry's focus model, you can take this DeepSeek and create and train them on the into the small model, which is like will be focused on the particular domain. Why not? And this is will be a subject for competition. So that's why it's not like you compare apple to apple. If I'm saying we didn't build our own Korean, but for sake of clarity, I mean we launched our own large language model, which calls ASI1. It's somewhere in line with Gemini, by the way. It's okay, like Gemini. We did benchmarking a year ago, but to support this, you need a huge spending on inference. I mean, incredibly huge. So that's why it's the linear equation where you just if you keep going that way, you need enormous capital inflow where you just need to put it against this more and more and more developments where you need just to do the regular continuous improvements.
Alex, with whatever are telling me in regards to Sophia, I think that you guys have lost the race in the humanoid space, right? Because with Tesla coming in, with Unitree coming in, do you think that are you even in the are you still in the contest of humanoids? Though you all came out with Sophia the first, got some of the biggest stages in the world, right? But then we don't see like any use case in a day-to-day basis, or we don't even see a commercial model out of it.
Yeah, so Sophia being a very, I think, before I ever joined SingularityNET, Sophia been since 2017 and back 2020. I think it was very a great showcase. One of the, I mean, it's still actually one of the robots who hold the citizenship, formal citizenship. I don't think that any other robots holds a formal citizenship, by the way. So
Bro, it's a great PR, right? Come on.
yeah, yeah. So I
We
don't think like for perspective of the race, it's somewhere lost. But um, at that point, even Will Smith been trying to date her. I remember that as part of his I Am Robot movie marketing campaign. But like that was different story. So it was a show. Sophia was not made for the mass production. So she about different things. It's a showcase of the different technology, which is like been designed as a showcase. There are like three type of the robots: Sophia, Grace, and another one I forgot. Like, but there are three type of
I
the
think
robots.
I've spoken to Grace in Hong Kong during
No, it
an
was
event. I
Sophia.
don't think you were a part of that event.
It was
No, no,
Sophia.
no. After that, I think
Mm.
it was from UK. Like some guys from UK were doing an event.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
probably, yeah. No, it's that one was Desdemona.
yeah, yes, yes, yes,
Desdemona,
yes.
yeah. She is like
Yeah.
unique of the kind. She's like, a punk against among the robots. She's a rebel, like on the
Yeah.
stage. That's Desdemona, yeah. So we try to make her performer. She's singing, etc. But trying to
But then
answer your
imagine
question.
how you give API of Grok to any of your
Yeah,
robots.
I mean,
They would just kill the performance, right?
yeah. Look, I myself, I use Grok.
Me too.
I yeah, I resigned from ChatGPT subscription. Actually, I was comparing all of them, and I just realized that this products, they are looks like white colors and blue colors now. You know.
So tell me, what is your AI stack right now? So I'll tell you what I pay. I pay money at two places. I pay money to Super Grok. It's ultimate four agents talking amongst each other, trying to give me the best solution. The advantage is that I don't have to ask Super Grok, "Are you sure?" Because they're already sure amongst the four agents themselves. And then I use Gemini, also because it gives me extra storage space on my personal Gmail. So these are the two things that I use it for. And what else do you use? You use Grok, and what else do you use?
Well, I use the other one is Kimia,
Okay.
because like this is I because I'm doing entrepreneurship a lot, so I need still do some presentation material. So that's why I need some diffusion AI tool. And among the others, I just realized the Kimi, they have this. I mean, it's could do some reasoning, by the way. Unfortunately, it still creates a lot of slop on the slides, and I think this is a pain point for me sometimes. But that's like that's the past. Like that's the pace.
But then one thing that I had the same problem with Grok. I'm the user of Grok from the day one because they give it to you free with your subscription with Twitter, and we Web3 crypto guys. I think it's a need for us to have like a Twitter blue mark, which is the subscription. And I've been using Grok from the day one. It launched, I think, for over a year now. And for me, every time, whenever I use Grok, earlier I had the same problem like you mentioned, but over a period of time, it has become so much better that I don't have to go to even Gemini. I use Gemini only when I'm, working on my website, or, I have some questions on it. But even those questions on Grok, I think Grok really simplifies it for all of us. So now, let's talk about the way the world is working, the way AGI is. Of course, we need to get in more details of it. What is Singularity Ventures doing right now? What kind of projects is your focus? What is your ticket size? How are you supporting them? Give us a little detail on that for all the budding AI entrepreneurs here.
Yeah. So I'm a partner of. So I have several like portfolios at the moment. One of them is we do tokenization of the assets. Another one portfolio, I work with Singularity Venture Hub. I'm a partner there. So what we do, so Singularity Venture Hub, it's a gateway which is like focusing on the uh, conventional things about finance, like market making, quant trading, incubating, tokenomics, like etc., etc., etc. But also it's work as a gateway into the ASI ecosystem, allowing to incubate the project with help of ASI. So what I do there, I'm work and on the special situations and strategic initiatives where I see the great value can be brought into the ASI. For example, like the adoption of ASI one. So we signed, I think, uh, 10 deals. Last year, I signed personally 10 deals for the ASI one adoption. This year
And what's your
we
minimum ticket
started.
size?
Say again.
What's your minimum ticket size?
Oh, it's not the ticket. it's it's hard to say. It's not like, it's not something you measure in money. Like it's impossible to measure because it's not a fund itself. Like it's a venture studio. I would think very close aligned definition.
Okay,
But
it's a venture studio. Okay, I thought it's a fund.
no, it's not a fund. Like so, I mean, it's run. I think $60 million fund of the which is like include deep funding with help of SingularityNET. But it's again, it's treasury management. I think in most time, and it's treasury manager. Singularity Venture Hub is also treasury manager for the ASI, which is like important to say, because Singularity Venture Hub CEO is CFO for SingularityNet, and he's the guy who knows how finance works, and that's why I think the abstraction of Singularity Venture Hub is a key financial player around the ASI ecosystem. So if you want to like bridge together money and AI, I mean that's as the closest thing you need to go to Singularity Venture Hub, because the other parts they are like either product focused or either R&D focused. So Singularity Venture Hub is money focused.
Got it, got it. And with the AI coming in a speed that we could never anticipate, with updates happening on a weekly basis, and updates like would have taken years to build, right? Um, right? It is
Yeah.
like I still remember the first iPhone 3 that I bought, and then suddenly there's iPhone 4, and then suddenly iPhone 5, and you're like, dude, my phone is still new, or like why do I need to upgrade it? But then AI is giving you a lot of good reasons to upgrade it as per your task. And as per your requirements, which actually appeals to the majority of the people in the world, like from your iPhone 15 to your iPhone 16 or to your iPhone 17, not much of a difference, right? It is not going to impact anyone at all. But with the update with that AI is giving you, it will for sure affect the entire the entire population on this planet. Now, what is your vision that you would see with AGI happening in the future? Like, what is Alex's vision? Not what is Singularity's vision. What is your vision? Because you're hands on there.
Yeah, I was the earliest chief data officer in my country, and even wrote book. It was, I think, 15 years ago. So when I see this through this 15 years ago, what's happening and how it changes. So what I can state, like there are different two elements and two perceptions. The first perception is the incremental improving of efficiency. You said like 15, 16 iPhone changes a little. So it's like, and this is like, it looks like this. Like in the moment of time, it reached the limit which it cannot break. So it's improving the efficiency. And now it's happening on the where there is a successful product adoption, and we're going to see how the AI will be improving the efficiency. Okay. And once it's improving so much long, like Apple, they changing the CEO, right? Which is like new CEO is engineer. And what's happening? It's doing like this, you know. It's not improving, it's actually changing. It's going from the candles to electricity and saying, hey guys, there is a new story behind, a new dimension, new market, let's jump there. And that's why I see that we go because because movement is so fast. I believe that we need some amortization here, and inertia. Like we need to slow down a little bit to feel that improvement first. To feel that improvement first, because otherwise, if we will not feel that improvement, like you said, the difference between 15 and 16 a little, if we will not feel that, we will not able to feel that jump over once like iPhone released like this is a fold mode iPhone idea, like, and you said like, what, wow, that's a hat, like. And so I think in AI it's in inevitable that some teams will be working on operational efficiency, and I think it will be like in crypto, like they're going to be two rooms. One room they're going to be people scamming other people with ICOs, and second room they're going to be like, 10 people sitting there and creating the disruption. That's
You know,
why.
the first thing, the ICO days are gone. The second thing is, I want to bring this to everyone's notice that what you said about the second half is absolutely right. I was in Singapore for Token 2049. Ben was speaking there in a room that could actually occupy about 500 people. Only 30 people were listening to him. Right? It is embarrassing for someone who has a lot of respect for the technology. I'm not even talking about the speaker, right? I'm just talking about the technology. When we go there and you see only so many people, you're like, what the hell is happening? Why is it like this? And then you realize that what Alex said is absolutely true. One half of the world is working towards, making a quick buck, and the other half of the world is making sure that we are, changing the trajectory of where the world moves. We have 3 more minutes to go. Alex, I want to ask you. By the way, we need to do this next week also, right? I'm going to get on a call with you, and we need to get your date and time fixed because there's so much to talk about, right? I feel right now that we haven't even scratched the surface on AGI. We haven't got anything. But then because you and I both are native crypto people, tell us some of the tokens that you think that you're really bullish on, and everybody in the crypto space should be paying attention.
Well, it's, it's not a financial advice,
Of
right?
course, of course, there's no financial advice. Just to know the tokens that Alex is bullish on.
So I recently made the regulation review landscape, right? So for some institutional players, and I made the regulation overview for EU, MENA, SIS region, US, and Asia. And I've been surprised how, because of the FATF, there is a FATF, right, and travel rule. That's the new regulation adoption going through the whole market, and the limits of the fiat on ramp of RAM crypto connection will be sized to $1,000 only, and for CIS region it's still $6,500, 6 times bigger than EU. I see that all those players on the market, they discriminate privacy coins. That's what's happening through the regulator perspective. And I was curious, like, okay, if they discriminate, how big gonna be the gray market for them? Because like it's like Newton law, like the force create another force. So I see here that if the regulation pull the air inside, that creates enormous pressure from the other side, which is like, I mean, that's how the equilibrium reach out. Otherwise, like it's just break up the everything. So that's answering your question. I see. I was very skeptical on this. I couldn't believe that it would be very prioritized. I couldn't believe that the regulators will be so framed in the way that they're gonna pick exactly and block exactly the privacy coins. So definitely, I think the privacy coins will be the top on the list.
Like
I'm
they
not
can.
promoting them again, but I'm just answering your question where the capital may flow, and it's not a financial advice, but because they get exposure from a lot of the regulators across the globe, I believe it will attract a lot of funding because of that.
Interesting. So you're bullish about privacy coins like Zcash and what else?
Monera, Zcash,
Monero.
Monera. Yeah. So Night, there is a Cardano project Night, but um, again, I mean, there is a primary asset which is a Bitcoin, right? So like we all depends on what's happening on the market. So we're now in the bear market. I don't see that there are going to be other things like, and because bear market mostly trading up, and once it's trading down, it's very very embarrassing and it's very bleeding so much, and we're still in the bear market at least till the beginning of the 2027.
What's your prediction on Bitcoin? What do you see? Where do you see it
So
going?
I agree here with the Ben Cohen. So he says like there will be another correction. I agree with the correction, and I see that there are some on the high time frame gaps. I mean, on the high time frame for the Bitcoin, there are gaps which are still relevant, and I think that 47 like K we could see this year. It's like it could be a flash crunch, like, or it could be like a slow move there, but it should hit that estimate, then it go back, and that's why I see it this year. I mean, to answer your question, which year? Like this year for sure. In the long run, I think it's 1 mil. It's for sure.
Yeah, but then this year prediction is more important.
Of
One
course,
one myth we all are waiting for, but then what happens this year is the crux of everything.
that
Alex,
that's
thank you so
fascinating
much.
for everyone who trying to stick to crypto.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for your time. You have been wonderful, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. I need to admit, more than half the things that you said I didn't understand, but we need to do another one and dive deep onto this. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It's good to see you back. Bye bye.
Stay safe. Stay